Get get ready for this video. It's creepy and scary. Get ready. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and we're gonna be talking about Slenderman. Gonna react to, or we're gonna listen to a video of what you guys think about it, and I don't know if it tells this part or not, but I'll tell more about Slenderman. Yeah. And speaking of Slenderman, I don't know if you ever guys heard of this song, but it's like, in my head, it's like every time I hear him, it reminds me of that song. Slenderman, Slenderman, all the children try to run. Slenderman, Slenderman, to him it's part of the fun. It's so creepy. But it's on YouTube. It's called the Slenderman song. It's creepy. But let's react. Oh, let's listen.
Slenderman is a modern urban legend that has been creeping us all out since 2009. While he is fictional, he has inspired some real-life horror stories that have ruined the lives of young teens and their families. Hang out with us until the end to learn all about Slenderman and why we need to teach kids the difference between reality and fiction. Before we get started, take a moment to subscribe to The Richest, give this video a big thumbs up, and join our notification squad. And if you're thirsty for a community that thinks just like you, you're in luck. Click on that community tab to meet some amazing people. Now, here's the truth about the Slenderman legend. In order to fully understand the Slenderman legend, we have to understand exactly where it all started. Back in 2009, a man named Eric Knudsen came up with the idea for Slenderman while competing in an online contest. The web forum Something Awful hosted a contest that asked participants to create a photo that looked paranormal. Participants had to use an everyday photo, and they had to edit it to make it look creepy. Knudsen, using the pen name Victor Surge, took 2 black and white photos of children and inserted Slenderman into the background. Thus, a legend was born. Slenderman has inspired art, video games, fan fiction, and even a movie. But it seems that Eric Knudsen is a pretty normal guy. He lives with his wife in Florida, and he's also a father. When it came to creating Slenderman, he was inspired by H.P. Lovecraft and Stephen King. In fact, Slenderman's tall, thin, faceless look was inspired by Stephen King's book, The Mist. There are tentacles that sprout out of Slenderman's back. He's known to stalk the woods at night, and he can cause amnesia. What is even more interesting is that it seems that Knudsen just planted the creative seed for Slenderman and then left the story up for others to adapt as they saw fit. He hasn't been involved much when it came to the art and video game incarnations of his creepy character. Why? He says that he's just too busy with real-life stuff. We can also imagine that the crimes that were inspired by Slenderman might have inspired him to stay behind the scenes and to back off his involvement with the character. It can be said that because Slenderman really has no official creator, he doesn't have an official canon. Yeah, Yes, Nuts implanted the seed with his original design in his photo, but there are hundreds of people who have written their own stories about Slenderman. You could say that his story is still being written as we speak. Parsec Productions even created their own version of Slenderman for a video game that had the creature in the starring role. Of course, Slenderman is fiction, right? And there's no way that he could ever be real. Well, that's what we think. But there is also a theory that one can manifest an entity if enough brain power is engaged. Don't believe us? Let us tell you about the Philip experiment. In the 1970s in Canada, a group of people managed to create their own ghost with his own backstory and everything. Philip was able to think for himself and he had his own free will. Philip became so strong that he was able to move tables around the room and eventually outgrew his creators. This has also been a practice for centuries by Buddhist monks, where they create entities called tulpas. Could something like this happen with Slenderman? If enough people around the world have a specific image in mind and they treat him like an existing being, they could very well bring him into this world. If you don't think it's possible, we're going to introduce you to some people who thought he was real enough to try to take a life. In 2014, two girls by the name of Anissa Weir and Morgan Geyser were so taken by Slenderman that they thought he was real. They truly wanted to be his followers. Remember, this was a character that Eric Knudsen created, not an actual god or being. The girls were just 12 years old at the time, so one could argue that they were young and vulnerable. Anissa and Morgan believed that they had to become servants of Slenderman, and that they had to do something to appease him to protect their families from him. So, they decided to attack their young friend, Peyton Lugner, with a knife and left her severely wounded in the forest. Luckily, Peyton survived the attack. Anissa and Morgan were taken into custody and put on trial. Morgan was sentenced to 40 years in a psychiatric facility, and Anissa was sentenced to 25 years. Morgan was the one who allegedly did most of the dirty work while Anissa looked on, which is why she received a more severe punishment. Both girls were found to be mentally ill, which explains the psychiatric facility sentencing. If you think that this is the only crime that Slenderman inspired, well, we have some bad news. In the same year that Anissa and Morgan committed their crime, a 13-year-old Ohio girl also attacked her mother with a knife. According to the mother, her daughter was waiting for her in the kitchen with the knife. She was wearing a white mask. During the incident, the mother felt that her daughter was acting like a completely different person. Luckily, Mom survived the attack with minor injuries. The girl was obsessed with Slenderman and had even created a whole world for him in the video game Minecraft. She ended up being tried as a juvenile, and she confessed that she had attacked her mom in an attempt to please Slenderman. Later, in 2014, there was a 14-year-old girl who was inspired by Slenderman to set her house on fire. The home was destroyed, but her family was luckily unharmed. As you can see, Slenderman has inspired quite the cult following. Thanks to his popularity, a horror movie was even made for a 2018 release, and it seems to be inspired by the crime committed by Anissa Weir and Morgan Geyser. There was also a documentary created after the crime called Beware the Slenderman in 2016. If you play Minecraft, you might be familiar with the Enderman characters, which are long, tall, block characters. Because of how they look, people assume Slenderman was their inspiration. Slenderman has even become one of the most popular characters for Halloween. In closing, all it takes is for a seed of inspiration to be planted, and you'll have a character that grows by itself. Slenderman was truly a collaborative effort thanks to the wide reaches of the internet. We're not sure what is more terrifying, Slenderman's lurking demeanor in the woods, or the fact that the human mind can actually become that dark. Whether you believe Slenderman to be purely fiction, or if you believe in the possibility that he could manifest thanks to the power of the mind, it's best to keep your beliefs online. It seems that once Slenderman crosses over to the real world, that is when the true chaos ensues. Don't go into the woods at night. Don't even look at the woods, because Slenderman just might be there waiting for you behind the trees, waiting to take you away into oblivion. That's all.
So, the story was about the girls that were, they said they were 12, the girls that were 12 years old. They stabbed the one girl 13 times. Surprisingly, she survived. Which, that's good that she survived. And people are crazy and messed up. And, wonder what their minds were thinking of. Or was it something paranormal? Or I don't know. Or something, or was there something in the woods? Or someone telling them to do these things? We will never know what their minds were thinking about. Which, that's crazy that they did that. And they were so young too. But yeah. And Slenderman is like a creepy character. I have watched the movie, the 2018 one, and I think it was like a YouTube one or whatever. Or someone made a movie of one. And yeah. And they're both pretty creepy movies. The 2018 one, there's some parts that got to me, but it wasn't, I don't know. But it was a good movie, though. But you guys have to watch it on your own and see if you guys like the movie. And if you can't tell, I'm ready for Halloween. There, you can see there's skeletons. And then I have my skull over here with his eyes lighting up. I think the batteries are dying or something. I think it was last year I accidentally let him on and the jack-o'-lantern. And then I don't think you've seen the fake flowers in my other YouTube video. Or any of my YouTube video. Or whatever, I don't remember. But my cat did chew on some of the flowers, but you can't really tell. And I wanted to do this candle to make it more creepy. And I love the candle. And it's a fall smell, because I'm so ready for fall. It's autumn something. Autumn woods or something like that. I don't remember. But it just makes the video more creepy and cool, and I love the candle effect. And pretty soon you will see my jack-o'-lantern. He'll return. And I will dress up October 1st, and during October, like I always do. And Halloween, I'm probably gonna wear my costume on I'll probably you'll see it. I can't wait until you see my costume for Halloween, and I'll do a video. And we're gonna continue the creepy. We're gonna go to do the creepypasta stories, and yeah. And I haven't heard of all the creepypasta stories. I kind of heard of Slenderman one. Tiki Toby I heard of. I think Jeff the Killer, I don't remember. Laughing Jack is the creepiest one. You'll see why when we react to it or whatever. And then I'll tell you my thoughts about the story and talk more about him. So make sure you have your notifications, so tap the bell to get notified when I post new videos. So it'll be fun. yeah, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Peekaboo, I see you. The creatures are coming to get you. Bye.